We actually skipped one episode, which was, I don't remember if it was the first or the second, the Toriko crossover. We're like, no thanks.
I actually kind of like the crossovers. They're pretty good.
It was one of those things again where I know it's a two-parter, and like one of them is technically a One Piece episode, and one of them is technically a Toriko episode, but they only have because it's just One Piece. Like I'm not going to switch over and go watch it in the Toriko stream somewhere. So we just said no.
Wait, what's the one with their Goku's there too? It's like a race.
That's later. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it's going to be 2013. I've seen that. At all. I don't think we even reviewed it on the podcast. I think we watched it and we're like, never.
It was a race. I forget who won. Something to do with food. That much I know.
Yeah, they're like an eating contest.
As it usually does for these three knuckleheads that are racing.
That might actually be the Dragon Ball animation that I know the least. I've watched it definitely once, maybe twice, but I don't remember anything else about it. Even they used music from Battle of Gods in it.
I'm surprised there's still animation, Dragon Ball animation that Funimation hasn't licensed anything yet.
I have to imagine it's not that they've not tried.
Oh, of course.
It's got to just be Shueisha and Toei bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure they would want to have episode of Bardock over there.
That's the weird shit. Like, that was included on the Kinect game. Like, what? What kind of licensing deal was that Shueisha had on that?
There's an official French version too, isn't there?
Yes, I actually bought that because it's the only Blu-ray release of it and plan to eradicate Super Science.
Yes, I have it as well.
Quote unquote have it.
Yeah.
Whereas I actually own it and don't even have a rip of it. It's just sitting on the shelf.
Where is it?
This is why I really hope that Walmart Blu-ray release is 4x3. That's going to really ease my conscience.
The one thing I bought from a non-Japan Amazon was it a quadruple feature? I think it was. I think it's Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, episode of Bardock, and Eradicate. I'm 99% certain that episode of Bardock and Super Science are not actually produced in HD though. So.
I mean, we'll still sell it. Anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Heard every word you said, Albert.
I said it would still sell, regardless of.
It did. I bought it. It is all things being said. Kind of crazy that there's just like Dragon Ball animation out there that you can't just buy. Jump Super Animator Special.
Dragon Ball Heroes.
Heroes, I mean, I at least kind of get because the arcade game's not here. And that's what it's adapting. Oh, I tried to use the horn right at the end, too. And oh, wait. We have another race. Wait, lap. Blue shell, perfect.
No.
Wait, no, that is the end. No.
That is the third.
Oh, come on.
I'm so confused.
I got ghosted.
Heroes seems like such a good fit, though, for Toonami to do. Is just like that would fit in like that half-hour slot, or half of a half-hour slot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It seems like that would be good. People would still eat that stuff up.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't matter that it looks terrible. Just put that on at 2:30 a.m. and put out a DVD later. I stopped watching.
I stopped watching it when the subgroup that I had been watching fell apart.
When Desu no Desu.
Yeah, when that stopped it, I was like, well, I'm not going to go seek out what's the good version.
Who the hell are you going to trust?
Yeah.
Oh, Joe got a communication error. No, Joe.
No.
Which sucks because I really liked Heroes. It's just bad. The conceit of the show is someone taking action figures and slamming them together,
Exactly.
which is what I do. So,
Just a bunch of what ifs.
yeah.
tried flipping through the latest chapter in Psycho Jump, like I have no idea even who some of the characters are supposed to be. I think other than like the last half of whatever there is for Heroes, if there's any Dragon Ball, I just legitimately haven't seen.
I still have not seen that GT special. There's a lot of GT I just haven't seen.
Goku Jr. Really?
Yeah, I've never seen it because it's like the quality that's on the Dragon Box version.
Oh, it's terrible.
It looks awful, and it looks like someone set that film out in the sun.
Yeah.
And it's gross, and I hate it, so I won't watch
I
it.
don't even remember the story being particularly good either.
No, it's pretty bad. But
It's forgettable.
I've seen it once, fan subbed, and that was it.
it's notable for Toru Furia playing a character, and that's about it. Thing didn't show.
Gee,
Oh,
God
I got
damn it,
knocked
really
up
mad
on
at
top. What?
Smashed around here.
There's
But
definitely
I've-
stuff I've only watched like once, but otherwise I wouldn't have seen it.
I still haven't seen most of GT, which makes it like really complicated when I'm doing like a wiki entry or something
I know.
on one of the dragons, and I'm like, "Ugh, what is the context for this? This dragon did what? I think all of the original Dragon Ball movies I've only seen once each.
Love movie 3.
Path to Power, the anniversary one, I've seen that one probably like
Did Brick
8
get it
times.
perfect?
Oh yeah.
No. The very end of the movie, when Goku is forming the Kamehameha, he's not actually saying anything, but the lips are flapping. And I think I've always held a grudge against the movie. It's weird to me that when I was like getting into the series, that was like, oh, the 10th anniversary. Like this has been around for such a long time. They got a 10th anniversary movie. And now that movie is extremely old.
Yeah.
It felt like we're celebrating how old it is when I first saw it. So my brain can't really reconcile that.
There's probably several episodes of Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, I haven't seen. I have a lot of blind spots. But I'm also not super interested in revisiting a lot of that. Because I know how much more baked in a lot of that filler is in the original Dragon Ball. I don't know.
I like a lot of the early Dragon Ball filler. Maybe not like the actual first arc. Oh, some of it's okay. I like the crocodile who's like co-opting Kamisen's island with a knife. That's pretty good.
Well, I mean, a lot of that's still rooted into like old school like Dragon Ball, like Toriyama stuff. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the gag
Still
stuff.
feels like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of old school Toriyama, like I've been reading.
Yes, tell me about
Theater.
it. Tell me your thoughts on it.
I'm currently up to the story with the genie girl Chobits.
Okay.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, 'cause the early stuff is like, what the fuck am I even reading?
Yeah.
Like Wonder Island. I mean, you got to give credit for being debut stuff, but it's incomprehensible. But
So, one thing I noticed is he's very adamant about breaking the fourth wall.
Yes.
Was he always like that in the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing there weren't that many people back then, that many mangaka that did that.
No, it's tough to say because like we
I
don't
mean,
have
you're talking like late 70s, early 80s, right?
yeah, but we don't have a lot of context for like what was in Jump at that time. I mean, I do because I have the magazines, but like the average American reader doesn't. Weekly Shonen Jump was super weird at the time because you can go like I've done this with an issue from Dr. Slump era where like you go from reading Dr. Slump, you change to whatever the next series is, and there's a naked lady crucified on a cross. Like that's what Weekly Shonen Jump was at that time. It's so weird. Like anything you can imagine. And then it'll go into like a kiddie sports manga. the next series.
Sounds
too.
pretty good to me.
Yeah. I mean,
But you know,
it's a cool
Jump's
variety.
still like that a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember I went to Kinokuniya once, and I flipped through. They have weekly Jump there. I was flipping through, and there's one piece, and then you go to like the next thing, and it's like girls in their panties at a spa or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay.
The violence was certainly freer.
Yeah, and
I mean,
they,
it's
it
still
took
there,
a lot more.
but-
They took a lot more liberties back then. I felt.
I mean, there were like guns with headshots and shit. It's kind of wild going back and looking at it.
Even like if you look at like some old, like the old like '90s anime, '80s anime shows, like like monsters' heads were blowing off in Yu Yu Hakusho. You didn't get to see that back. Like now, you decapitate somebody, it's like mild. It's like very toned down.
There was even something in a One Piece episode we watched just like yesterday or today. I'm like, I bet if I go to the manga, it's probably a little more violent than what I just saw.
Almost certainly.
It felt like it was probably a decapitation. I already forgot what it was.
Oh yes,
so tuned out the Fishman stuff. But.
Like with when Vegeta kills Gerd, that's totally changed.
Even then, it's still fairly violent in the anime.
Yeah.
Going for that double item banana. Oh,
Oh,
I should
yeah.
say. Oh no, he's gonna. I was gonna say I didn't know what it was. Anyway, yeah, the Toriyama stuff. It's interesting, especially because it does get to a point in manga theater where it's not necessarily in timeline order, like chronological release order. It's close to it though. But you're still kind of like in the early mid, and I feel like once you get into once you get into the stuff that's from the Dragon Ball era, it's very clearly like, oh, this is Dragon Ball Toriyama, like telling a very, very concise, like very well thought out, as much as he'll never admit it, story. Like I've planned these 45 pages to
Based off like
panel.
the excerpts, it feels like with the Chobit stuff, it was like still like Dr. Slump era.
Yes, that's also a Chobit is a wild. Was it Chobit? Is that
Yeah.
three chapters? I
Yeah.
think it is. So that's wild because that was one of the like Jump. Was it Jump Grand Prix? But it was one of those like author contests where a bunch of the authors would draw something and then they chose a winner from it. But Chobit was all 3 chapters debuted in a single issue, and he also did a regular Dr. Slump chapter that same issue. And he did that all for a single week of Weekly Shonen Jump. And it's just fucking insane how much he was able to get out. Like in that 1 week. Well, obviously he was working on it for a little bit longer, but even still, knowing how much he procrastinates, just crazy seeing.
Or that's how much work it is to actually do a chapter.
Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why he doesn't want to do Shonen anymore.
Oh, there he goes, right at the end, of course.
I haven't even touched my book yet because I know I'm gonna have to get through. What's that thing at the beginning of it? Wonder Island or something.
Yeah, Wonder Island.
Yeah, and
honestly,
I don't.
Wonder Island.
Yeah, I didn't. I hate to say it. I didn't like the first volume of Dr. Slump.
I understand. I can get that.
But I also like if I'm not crazy about Dragon Ball really until Tao Pai Pai shows up.
Sure.
That's funny because usually when people watch the original Dragon Ball, they usually say like Dragon Ball for them doesn't get good until they get to the first tournament.
I guess I what I've realized is that I just don't like gag manga, or specifically Toriyama's gag manga. And
I love it. I eat it up. Wonder Island isn't good though.
Okay, so I'll skip that and get to Cashman or whatever it is.
Cashman is so fucking. I mean, Cashman's also like end of Z GT era Toriyama as well. So
Is that the one that has Marin in it? from
Yeah,
Garlic
no.
Jr.
I don't remember.
That was when Steve Yurko posted it on Twitter. Man, that blew my mind. I never knew that.
He has the Big Bang Attack.
Cashman does?
Have you read Neko Majin?
Lean translated.
I don't know if you would probably like it because it's very good.
I have read the chapter with Goku in it, and I liked that. Probably because Goku and Oob are in it.
Canonical.
Oob for one panel. But that's all the panel I need, is him wearing that gi.
You look so good in it.
Yeah. I am a true believer of let me see more Oob. I even will tolerate what I know of him in GT. I think the idea of him merging with Boo is really cool.
Cool. I think it's cool. I think everyone hiding inside of Boo is fucking amazing.
I don't remember that at all. This is news to me.
Yeah, that was the last GT review of awesomeness we did.
Did Jeff ever say you wanted to go back to that?
I was just talking about it with him on Thursday. He said put the files up and he'll watch them. So
I feel like they need a recap though. Like I have no idea what's going on.
yeah, we talked about that.
If you do recap, you should do it in like the old school, like 2003 Funimation GT style.
Last time on Dragon Ball GT review of awesomeness.
You're too excited for the GT narrator. There's more of talking like this. Really downtrodden.
Yeah, it was very downplayed. It was like on the last episode.
Dragon Ball.
I've seen GT. We're not sure, but
I can't help but like love that song. It's just so catchy and it's stupid at the same time.
Oh, it's catchy like COVID, I guess.
oh, hit at the end. Oof. Of GT, catch you like COVID. The episode title right there.
Yep, yep.
That was actually like the full version of that song was actually on my MP3 playlist on my MP3 player for a number of years. Almost to the point where I almost knew all the lyrics.
I remember pulling that full MP3 file off their site from like that contest era.
Oh yeah, that's probably where I have my MP3 from then too.
I remember my news update from that time. Not the most professional thing I've ever written in my life, but you know, it was honest. It was earnest. I think I said fuck a lot.
Do you? So I remember when History of Trunks came out. They had that original soundtrack
I think that
for the
actually
English
came out.
dub, and I was like, what is this song in the background?
The rap music while Gohan's face down in the fucking puddle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think watching that version is the first time I ever saw that special, and I think it left such a bad first impression that whenever I think about that special, I'm like, I don't really like it.
It's really good.
I don't know if it could be saved for me, honestly.
You just played it in the.
So
the
I
game.
bought the original soundtrack for that when it came out.
I am about to rewatch it, so.
Oh, hit the fire.
Just tonally, I have some issues with that story. And then there's also like a weird thing where the characters' noses are colored in black in the anime, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. That was a weird choice.
I've never noticed that, but I'm never gonna unsee it now.
Yeah, one of those things that just like really bugs me for no reason.
Blow them all up, yeah. I think I've tainted the trunk stuff for Mary because I was doing a fight in the DLC earlier today and I didn't realize I was going to be doing a fight and I wasn't leveled or prepared to do that fight. The cursing going on. All in good fun, all in good fun. It's really tough going back to Kakarot.
I still haven't opened my copy.
Pay $60 for it?
No,
All right.
$20.
Okay. That's a great price for that game.
I'm full of no comment right now.
Yeah, I saw all the redacted comments in Discord, so.
Yeah. Well, Randy was under the impression he'd finished the DLC, and he actually had not yet, so.
Get credits and it's not over?
You'll have to find out. But yes, there are 2 sets of credits in it.
I mean, I know the Toyotaro content, so that's all I know.
You know the what content?
Toyotaro?
So far.
Is that-
now.
I guess I'm not going to ask. All right. Which I think is really
I want
neat.
to talk about it so bad.
All right, I will try. I'm putting Yakuza on pause so I can play this shit. All right. Joe says, Trunk Special is one of the first things I saw then in movie 13, so you can imagine my confusion. I think Joe and Mary are like the same person. Sounds about right. The actual first fan subs I got were the majority of the end of the Super Saiyan Goku versus Frieza stuff, which I did before I had my site. So it was like 97. It was a friend and I. We did a trade with a random person in the chat room, which strikes me as very strange and equally problematic these days. We traded 3 tapes of what we had recorded of the syndication broadcast for 2 fan sub tapes, which sounds right. Like, you know, here's 3 bad things for 2 good things. But then the first actual, like, from a fan sub distro that I got was one tape was Bardock and Trunks. 1 tape was movies 11 and 12, so Buyer Broly and Fusion. And then 1 tape was the end of GT. That was a fucking wild
That's a widespread.
breath of Dragon Ball right there.
Oof.
Oh, Brett with the hit and run.
Yeah. 2 for 1.
The first bit of Dragon Ball I ever saw was Gohan in the hospital after the Saiyan arc. And I looked at his ear and how over detailed it was, and I said, "This is gross," and I turned it off.
Yeah. I get it. Ooh, what happened, Brett?
I chose to go with a mushroom instead of a defensive item. It was a bad decision. That'd be fun.
But like me at that age, you know, in '99 I was 11, and I'd only really seen like Pokemon, maybe Speed Racer. So I was used to a different kind of simpler art.
Oh, like, no, he got me. I ran into my own. Oh God, no. Not only did you throw a shell backwards, but I hit my own banana.
Oh.
Oh no, I get a red shell right perfect. Oh no. Oh, he's already across. So what was the first Dragon Ball you saw? Was it Tsunami?
Me? Oh, I think probably one of the early Z movies on Toonami, right? They would play those back then. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was like when Gohan was getting drunk in that one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that feels like a really early memory for me of Dragon Ball.
How about you, Brett? Was it like same era? You guys in college?
No, I saw Dragon Ball Z on Toonami in early 2000s, like midway through the Frieza saga. That's when I first started watching.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. The Midnight Run was playing that at one point over the summer.
Yeah.
I remember one summer, my parents made me go to Bible school in the summer, and I was so pissed, man, because in the afternoons, that's when it was like peak Goku versus Vegeta that week.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, anyways, that had a big effect on me. It really, having to go to Bible school that week really affected a lot of aspects of my life.
You miss it on, you gotta wait for it to get all the way back around again to watch it.
Oh no, I got communication error.
Albert, what was your first Dragon Ball?
So it was 98 summer. Went to visit my cousin in Florida.
Yeah.
He had the first couple of volumes of Pioneer
Tapes. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched from there. And from there, I just started collecting tapes. It was all the way up to... it was the one volume where it had the Dory on it.
Yep.
And then from there, I just collected every release that came out. And then I got so upset when the last volume came out and there was no volume.
That's a crazy ass fucking. There's some the Pioneer. I was gonna say album art, but the cover art at that time, because they would just fucking show Super Saiyan Goku on the cover.
Yeah.
And that's not coming anytime soon.
And then I heard about. I because I was buying my tapes at Suncoast, I had saw the early Dragon Ball was coming out, and I'm like, oh, okay, Dragon, like Goku as a kid, this would be interesting. So I bought those tapes, and then I got to like volume 5 of the tapes, and then I remember I was really upset because it left me on like the only cliffhanger because they were like trapped in Pilaf's cave.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the 6th tape took a while to come out. I have to go back and look at those release dates.
But you know what? It's funny because at the very least, that arc when the 6th tape came out, it ended on like a nice.
It did, yeah.
Point where it's like, okay, if this is the only Dragon Ball you get exposure of,
right.
It's like a nice little stopgap from here to Z.
Oh shit! And there's wow.
It was also kind of fun because it made me like it left to my like imagination like what Goku did.
Yeah, what happens in between? Sure.
Yeah. So, but then being the curious camper that I am, obviously I went online and just started going on planetnamek.com and a bunch of other sites.
Bunch of other sites. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hojo.com.
Yeah. Stumbled onto this character called Trunks on this website called Temple of Trunks, and I'm like, whoa, who's this guy? Wait, Vegeta has a son? What?
Dragon Ball for all sorts of fans.
And then obviously looking at the power level lists was just something. It was just something that I indulged myself in and be like, oh man, how much powerful did Piccolo get in the Buu Saga? Oh wow, look, he got 1 million battle power more than what Perfect Cell did at the end of the Cell Saga. Ooh.
There was something so just bizarrely innocent about all those sites at the time, with the sidebars, with the million links going down the edge. Oh yeah.
Do you guys remember there was this one website that was like a scientific? It was like someone wrote a scientific paper about the biology of science.
Ooh.
Oh man, it was
That
so
sounds
great.
cool.
And I wish I could find it. It was like about their metabolism and like really deep in. And I can't find that stuff anymore. And I remember it was a black page with yellow font on it.
That was every webpage 1998. Yep.
So if anyone out there knows what I'm talking about, please, GeoCities, whatever website it was back then,
Sure.
Angel Fire.
Sure, we'll be able to narrow it down out of the many
Yeah.
number of GeoCities pages.
Don't forget Fortune City. That was also very important. Tripod.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but GeoCities was the one that everyone used. I remember back in high school, everyone had a GeoCities page.
Downloading real media files of Goku going Super Saiyan 4.
Right after that forward.
You launched it, Tim.
I remember real early on the Dragon Ball Z website, there was a picture of Bulma when she's got Raditz' scouter on, and
Yeah.
she's showing like the tiniest bit of cleavage, right? And my mom did not like that. I should say my mom's a lot more chill now, but back then it was different.
Probably because you're an adult now.
Maybe.
Or took any interest whatsoever. My mom has famously only ever said, as long as I don't get a bill, I don't care. But nowadays she'll text me like, oh, your Goku is on the Macy's thing. I'm like,
Right?
"Oh, Mom."
You pushed me into that banana, you know?
She also texted me one day. She's like, I saw your Dragon Ball at Walmart. I'm like, okay, it's not mine, but thanks, Mom. Oh no, where am I going?
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's terrible.
I always hated going to Walmart, and the shelves were just filled with Kuririn, and nobody wanted those figures except me. I bought it.
I actually pulled something of a Joe, I would call it, where I think it was like 2 jobs ago. I would go over to I don't remember if it was a CVS or a Rite Aid, and I would just look and be like, the figure for Evolution Bulma is still on the shelf a year later. This figure is still on the shelf a year later. This figure is still on the shelf.
Give her a home, Mike.
You got the last photo I have of that.
What's she worth on eBay? Mint, still in card. Still in card.
So
Evolution Bulma.
I have a maybe Generation US 1 release of Majin Buu, Mr. Buu, excuse me, Fat Buu. And oh my god,
Talking about a figure?
yeah, it's mint on card because apparently it was mispackaged because the card has the name of a different character. I forgot what the name of the character is, but
Weird.
I was like, oh, this has got to be worth something.
Only works as
Man.
much as someone's willing to pay for it.
Yeah, so what's someone willing to pay for that? That's the question.
Jax, when they were doing the line after they switched over from Irwin,
Yeah.
they printed a Majin Vegeta figure that had black hair, and I bought the hell out of that. But I opened it up, of course. It's worth nothing. But to me, it's worth its weight in gold because I got the rare stuff. And then they re-released it with proper yellow hair, and I bought that too.
Yeah, wasn't there like some of the figures like had like the metallic gold paint on it for the Super Saiyan here?
There were a line of figures. It was just 2 of them, and it was Goku and Gohan, and they came with vehicles, and those 2 figures had the gold paint. And I have the Goku from that, but I never got the Gohan.
Yeah, I never liked the ones with the gold paint on because I thought it looked kind of tacky and fake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the gold hair and translucent hair, I'm not wild about. They still are doing that translucent stuff these days.
Do you remember the If Labs figures?
Oh yeah.
Like I used to own the first 2 movie collection sets for those.
Those are
And
those
then
big figures.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
have
got
the-
one of those. Maybe.
I have the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta from that.
Yeah, I had a mint on card, like a non-open for like the longest time, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm done with these figures. Like I've gotten everything I want out of them. So I sold them for like $200 for each set.
Ooh,
What?
that's pretty good.
Nice.
Well,
And
they
the
were
person who
mint on
bought
card.
them was me. No.
No, I mean they were still packaged, and one of them was signed by Chris Sabat. I think it was like the Piccolo one. And yeah, I was willing to pay top dollar for it. I was like telling the guy, like, listen, you gotta be able to move this. So and I know you gotta get some money. So you can give me $200 for each of these sets.
There's a
Says
website.
Gohan had a vehicle called a Stomper or something. Does that sound right?
Ooh, that sounds like Gohan.
Gohan
Stomper.
on Stomper.
You guys are not gonna be able to see this, but back there behind Roshi, that's the one that Goku came with. You're not gonna be able to see that, I'm sure.
Actually, I think I have
Oh,
those
the
two.
shelf,
The
okay.
ones with the regular Goku and the Super Saiyan Goku. Is that the one, the Bandai ones?
No, that's that's from when Irwin had the line.
Oh, okay.
I used to spend like every afternoon on Dragon Ball Toy Island.com.
Yeah.
Those forums.
Site.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god, dude.
I don't have any good figures.
My
out there.
collection's still rampant. I hate this. Look at that. And it's not ending. I got Zarbon and Dodoria on the way, and they're going right up next to Frieza, but then I got to figure out where to move my other Friezas. I guess down here.
I will say I have gotten like if I'm like I recently bought a couple of the Dragon Ball figures from oh my god, who's making the figures now? Oh my god,
It's
Mike, help
Bandai.
me out here.
Yeah.
Who's making the
Bandai or
figures?
Ban-
It's all
Presto.
Bandai. Presto.
And Presto, right?
Ben Presto. There we go.
Well, they do the
So-
statues. Yeah.
That contest we went to, Bryce. When we went to see like the competition where the guys were like designing the figures.
Yeah.
The World
Wor-
Coliseum
Wor-
ones.
Yeah,
World
World
Coliseum,
Figure
yeah, there we go.
Coliseum, yeah.
So I got 2 of those from the first series. I got the one that the one guy did for Perfect Cell, and I got one of the Trunks ones. with,
Oh,
like,
I know that Trunks one.
Where he's
Is it-
sitting on the thing.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
Well, no, where he's like about the slash.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Oh, yeah, he's really freaking out. Yeah, I like that one.
I got the Journey to the West Goku one. I love that one.
Any figures I buy, I just want to make sure I have a place for them, and I know I'll display them proudly. So
I like to think so too, but I don't. It just goes somewhere. What's I gonna say?
I'm looking for an off ramp with these figure arts. I want out. I thought I was out, and then they decided they were going to do the Ginyu Force, and I'm like, well, that's the one thing that would keep me in this line.
Yeah.
And now
I don't like the SH figure arts because they're like the ones with bendable joints.
Well, they have articulation, yeah.
I mean, I personally don't like the ones. I like the ones that pose. That's
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I got the like welcome email from Bandai about like, oh, we have our online store. Here's a 15% coupon. Like, oh, cool. Let me get that number 21 with the Lapco figure that's coming out. Oh, you can't use the coupon on that new figure. I'm like, all right, never mind.
I decided I'm not getting that figure.
Yeah.
I have her boo form or whatever, whatever that ended up being. I don't know if they ever explained
I
it.
actually don't even remember.
I don't think I ever actually completed the story mode in Fighters.
It's funny that they actually made a character like Ender 21, and then like for like the longest time, Perfect Cell.
That
or
was
Cell
always number 21. Yeah, in fandom for sure.
so- which is the true 21.
I feel like there's an old FAQ that explicitly says that going around. That's it, y'all.
All right, guys.
What a
Yay.
chill night for us. I liked it. We got to
Yeah.
play Shine Thief though. It was good. Mix it
Yeah.
up a little bit. Without JP complaining
Weird. It
about
was
everything.
chill. It was fun. It was cheesy.
Yeah.